Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe, y'all, let's get it. Let's go. Man, joke's crazy. We just gonna keep spinning. I'm like, so he comes standing over there all happy, like he got this under control. So I'm like, shh, jumping crazy, man. So he like, look, though, y'all trying to get something else this weekend? He like, yeah, we trying to go every week. What's good? So people's like, you can make it happen again? He was like, can I make it happen? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. So people's like, how you gonna dunk them though? How you gonna dunk Tron though? He had his back to Tron though. He was like, man, look, I got a dude over in 32 pod that's gonna be hustling for me. And I'm just gonna do it like that. When I come back, we're gonna spin him. I'm gonna give it to you. He was like, I ain't gonna give it to you as soon as I come back. He said, I'm gonna give it to you after count. He said, I'm gonna give it to you right before count. We're gonna meet up at the microwave. I'm gonna just put it down like that. He said, you gotta make sure nobody watching though, B. He was like, man, look, ain't nobody gonna be watching, man. I was like, man, look, matter of fact, bro, like, just be, y'all be careful. Don't let nobody, don't stumble, don't fumble that play, bro. I said, don't fumble that work, bro. Real talk, man. He was like, no, I ain't gonna fumble it. I'm just trying to throw people off about what's going on. So I'm like, all right, man, like, you know, the whole time, like, you know, it feels good when you got somebody that's bringing you to work. And every time I had somebody bringing me to work, I was happy about that situation. This situation right here, y'all, I never was really too enthused because I just felt like this was gonna crash any minute, man. The dude Tron wasn't an idiot. You know what I mean? He wasn't an idiot at all. And I know Tron was saying in his head, how we gonna try to disguise this now? You know what I mean? So I didn't know what Tron was up to. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know nothing. All I know is now this dude is over in our block. So I just kind of let it be easy. I just try to be easy about it. I try not to think about it too much. You already know how I go into depth about things. I wrap my brain with a bunch of stuff that'll just drive me crazy, and I'm just trying to block it out at the moment. You know what I mean? But what I can say is that the dude Reek was playing it off. He didn't really come holler at us and come kicking with us as much. He was mingling with them, mingling with other people. And every blue moon, he'll come mingle with us. Same thing. He already know we had business to take care of at the end of the week. So when the end of the week came, you know what I mean? He came up to us towards the same situation. He let us put it together. So we put it together again. Now, me personally, like I say, if he was somebody that can bring it every week, if he would have came to us or even me and be like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna let them rock this week and y'all rock next week. Long as he keep us in the equation, I wouldn't have been mad about that, man, because it's enough for everybody, man. But like, I just felt like he was being greedy with this. Now, I didn't know if trying them can make it happen like we could, but like, he's not giving them nothing. And these are the people from his city, man. This stuff never goes right, y'all. I'll be honest with y'all, man. So like I say, I didn't know what Tron had up his sleeve, because Tron was no idiot. He wasn't no idiot at all. So the week went by fast when he moved in our block. I'm talking about, it went by like this. Before you know it, was Friday, we was putting it together. Next thing you know, we was waking up, it was Saturday, it was bologna for lunch. You know what I mean? So, like I told y'all, he goes early. So he go to V-Room early, super early on the weekend. He go early. So he was one of the first dudes to get called. He go over that junk. He was right before count. So when he came back, me and bro was already sitting downstairs trying to play it all. We was sitting, they got like this little wooden stoop junk where they put the ice cooler at, where the ice cooler goes and you open up the top and you get your own ice, but they bring it in every day. You know what I mean? Morning times and then nighttime. You know what I mean? So we waiting in line, but we was like the first people there. So we sit, bro sitting on the little stoop. I'm standing up beside him. I'm looking at the pod. You know what I mean? So I'm just like this. So me and bro just sitting on the jump, just waiting for the ice to come back. So me and him just kicking it, we chilling. You know what I mean? Having a conversation. Slide open up. We see his bro. We look at the clock. It's 10:05. So we got 25 minutes before lockdown. We locked down at 10:30. He come back in. He go straight to his cell. So me and bro just sitting there. We going with the protocol. We going with the plan. Don't rush him. Don't go up on him. Let him handle his business. Catch us right before we lock down, which would be by the ice. That's why we were standing right there. So we standing right there. I was like, yo, bro got that jump. I could tell I ain't moving. He was like, man, he always got it, please. He always got that jump, man. He always got that jump, man. He always got that jump. So as we just standing there talking, we just hear like a quick scuffle. That jump was like, and we heard like the door. Then we seen somebody coming out. You heard the door just slam, boom, and the door slammed. So that's what made us really look. We was like, we see the dude Tron. He was coming out of Reek's cell. He came out of that joint, he walked this way, he went up the steps, he was like, he went right back up there on top table with his homeboys, he was like, he was just looking, so we like, I said, yo, B, man, go check on him, man. B was like, man, shh. He walked over that joint. As he got closer, he looked up at them. Dude trying like, hey, Weezy. I'm like, what's up? He like, shh. I go up the other steps, you know what I mean? I look, bro, just going inside his cell. I couldn't look. I wanted to look and see what was going on, but I couldn't, but B went in there. So I go up the side of the steps. He up there with all his homeboys. I walk over there. I'm like, what's up? He was like, let me holler at you right quick. He went in his room. His room is right where he be standing at. I'm walking there with him. I'm like, what's up? Hey, look. He said, that's what Reek had right there. How much is that of y'all's? I'm like, I felt like I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Pause. I didn't really know what the answer was for this. I didn't really know what to say, man. I was like, what you mean, bro? He was like, ain't that y'all's? I was like, as soon as he said that, you hear, hey, yo, man, let me holler at Tron, man. Hold on, man. Tron was like, hey, let him in. B come in the jump. He was like, that's ours right there. He was like, that's what I was just asking Weezy. Weezy act like he's stuck on stupid. I'm like, nah, bro, ain't nobody stuck on stupid. I'm like, you took the pack from him, bro. He was like, why y'all lie there, man? Why y'all lie? Why y'all lie there, man? I'm like, bro, listen, bro. You know what I mean? I won't try to be in the middle of all that stuff, but he was like, man, I told y'all this man owed me. He said, I told y'all he a piece of garbage. Like, I mean, what else more you want? What else more you want? Yeah, I went in there and took it. I went and took it from him. I made him throw it up. Then I took it. That's what I did. Yeah, when he came back from his room, you know where I was at? I was already in his cell. That's where I was at. He walked right in, didn't even see me sitting on his bed. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, I was waiting for him. Yeah, I'm gonna find out what's going on one way or the other. He should have stayed over in 32 Park. Yeah, he got me mixed up. So what's y'all's though? Come on, man. Let's get that out of the way. What's y'all's? What y'all get? Like, look, man. I said, yo, bro, listen. We get an ounce, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I just went on and just confess because there's a lot going on. He got his homeboys outside the door. We might gotta rumble them. We definitely gonna bang him up to get this pack if it comes to that. You know what I mean? So it could be all out madness right now. So I just came clean. I was like, yo, bro, listen. We get a zip, bro, every time. I said, we get a zip. We give him a quarter. You know what I mean? He was like, y'all give him 7? I was like, yeah. He said, y'all don't give him half? I said, man, that's my word of my mama. We don't give him half. I said, last week we gave him 7. And that's what we gonna keep giving him. He was like, all right. So look, give me 7. So we was like, give you 7. He was like, yeah, give me 7. Y'all take the rest. So B was like, man, all right. B started getting it right. I'm like, so what about him though, bro? Like, what you was like, don't worry about him. He was like, look, but if we gonna do this though, we gotta kind of work together though if we gonna keep getting this pack. Like, what do you mean? He was like, man, look, he wanna lie and say he won't do it and doing all of this. He was like, I can't get no work. I wish I could. My brother locked up. He was like, everybody else I hang with can't do that. He was like, look, y'all keep getting the work. I'm gonna keep taking it. Then we gonna keep rocking like that. I'm like, so you gonna take it from him every time? He was like, maybe the next time he ain't gonna make me take it. You know what I mean? He was like, but yeah, he know the count. I said, well, look, bro, you don't have to freaking take it, bro. I said, we just give you the quarter, bro, for you ain't gotta go through all that shit. He was like, no, I wanna take it and give it to y'all. For he can know I'm serious. I'm like, so what, bro? So I said, what's the plan on everything? Where I said, man, because he's not gonna just keep bringing the pack in for free and take his pack. He was like, yes, he is. He was like, yes, he is, man. He was like, look, y'all don't worry about it. He was like, if he come to y'all and tell y'all to protect him and do all that shit, he got to keep bringing the pack. As long as he bringing the pack, that's what's going to pay him being able to survive in this block. And he going to understand that's the tax that he going to have to pay. So I looked at bro. Bro was like, man, I don't give him the pack. He let that from him, bro. He was like, man, I lost all respect for me, man. He was like, man, look, as long as we can keep getting that shit, bro. So Tron was like, we got a deal? I was like, he was like, yeah. We got a deal. He said, we got a deal, Weezy? I was like, man, forget that cow, man, y'all. So boom, it's time to just get money now, man. Now he about to get double extortion. And it's wild and it's crazy that it happens like this, but we can't be the ones responsible for how all this played out, man. You know what I mean? This was his plan to be able to spend them, and he was gonna handle it and do this and do that. Me personally, I don't think you can spend your whole city. Like, I don't rock with everybody from my city, don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna do whatever I want with what mine's is. You know what I mean? Whatever's mine's, I'm gonna do whatever I want with. When I used to get my pack, and nobody can tell me nothing, but at the same time, though, I still wasn't amongst them. I still went and do dudes dirty from the town. I couldn't. I could never be dirty to the town. So like what I would do when it was a situation like that, I would get mines. You know what I mean? It might be a dude or two from the town that spend the money. I'm gonna throw a deal at him. Everybody else, I'm gonna give a feezy. Once I give you that feezy, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got nothing else. It's business after that. Don't be watching me to see what I do. If you come holler at me, the store there, yeah, I might do that. You know what I mean? But other than that, this is my stuff. So like, that's how I carried it, man. The dude Reek couldn't do this, man. He came with the plan of spinning and doing this, and they'd always backfire. The man Tron was in his cell waiting on him, y'all. Now that was something that we didn't expect it, man. We didn't never expect that, man. Because I just looked up and seen Tron on the top 10 early. The man Tron was waiting for him, man, in his cell. In his cell, y'all. I couldn't believe it, man. Me and B left out of that joint, went straight to my cell. We get in our cell, we get back in my cell. Me and B in the joint, be like, man, for real, Weezy, man. Be like, man, he getting started now. Like, I wonder what he did to dudes on the street. I said, man, you supposed to ask him that, man. I said, and furthermore, bro, like, I said, man, when he come holler at you, man, just let him know, man, this joint ain't gonna happen again. I said, man, just let him know you holler at Tron and everything ironed out. I said, look, give him one of those balloons. He was like, an eighth. I was like, yeah, give him an eighth, bro. He don't get a quarter. Give him an eighth. We'll take the sacrifice on that. We paid the dude that's bullying him. You know what I mean? I said, now, next, we're gonna get another pack. I said, when we get the other pack, you know what I mean? I said, we're gonna do the same thing again. I said, on that third pack, I said, you know what we're gonna do? He was like, what? I was like, we're gonna buck on everybody, bro. I said, because, bro, listen, this pack ain't worth it. I said, I know you happy that we getting on finally, bro. I said, but it's not worth it, though. It's not worth it, man. He was like, I feel you, man. He was like, man, he let dude take his pack. Bro, I'm like, man, they from his city, bro. I was like, bro, listen, if it want us, dude won't giving us nothing back. But he just knew that we was welling, though. He knew we was welling, and that's why he did the Jake. So I'm like, man, I kind of respected Tron for giving the pack back, because if he didn't, it was gonna be all out war in there. You know what I mean? But I kind of respected him for, you know me, moving the way he moved. Like, that was a strategic move. Like, if I said that word right, that was a good move. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good move, man. So we was like, man, we just sat in there and bagged up, and just kind of got it together. So as we sitting there and bagged up, we hear knock. Knock sounded super pitiful, y'all. That y'all sound like this. He was like, yo. I said, who was that, man? I gotta look. I moved the cut, because we had to cut up. I'm like, I said, that's Reek, bro. He was like, let him in, let him in. I let him in, he come in. He was like, what y'all doing up here? Like, man, what y'all doing? What you mean what we doing up here? He was like, y'all got the la-la? I was like, what you mean we got the la-la? Ain't this the la-la my people's dropped off to your people's? He was like, I mean, yeah. I said, bro, you let the man take the whole pack from you, bro. He was like, I mean, like, what you want me to do? I was like, what you mean I want you to do? I wanted you to fight for your honor. What you mean? He was like, man. He was like, man, he made you throw this stuff up, then he robbed you, bro. He was like, man, I come back in, man. He said, I walk in my cell backwards. He said, I'm talking to the dude next door, like, yo, I'm gonna holler at you when I get with the dude next door that got the fees. So I'm backing into my cell like this. He said, man, I back in. He said, my cell always dark. He said, I back in. I go up here to turn the light on. He said, I cut the light on. He said, I turn around, Tron sitting on my bed. I'm like, what? He like, yeah, he's sitting on my bed. I was like, what do you mean he was sitting on your bed? He was like, man, he was sitting on my bed watching Dog the Bounty Hunter, man. He said, man, he scared me, man. I said, so what you doing? You turned around. He was like, I ain't do nothing, man. He put his head down. He was like, I ain't do nothing, man. But he was like, why you ain't do nothing, man? You look up and see somebody in your cell that's supposed to be there. You supposed to fight off the top. He said, we would have heard you fighting, bro. We would have came over there, bro. You got out packing all that. He was like, I know, man. So I said, what'd he say? He said, the man said, run it, man. Run all that you got, man. I said, you ain't telling that was our jump? He was like, I said, so you just gave him our jump? He was like, I was like, I looked at B. B was like, shh, that's crazy, man. And B was like, here. He was like, he caught the eighth. He was like, what's this? B was like, it's an eighth. He was like, well, y'all giving me an eighth? I was like, yeah, bro. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you supposed to got a quarter, bro. I said, but you know, we had to pay him. You know what I mean? He was like, y'all paid him? I was like, yeah, bro. And look, he ain't gonna mess with you no more. So you ain't gotta worry about that, man. He was like, you sure, man? He was like, yeah, bro, he ain't gonna mess with you, man. You know what I mean? Like for real, bro. Like, just keep it going. Everything straight. Now, I was like, he ain't gonna bother you no more. You ain't gotta worry about that. We went on and paid him, bro. He was like, for real, man? I was like, yeah. So I was like, bro, listen, just stay out the way, bro, until, you know what I mean? I said, go down there and enjoy your eighth. You know what I mean? I said, go down there and enjoy your eighth. You don't need no food. Just go down there and enjoy your eighth, bro. He was like, Hey, Weezy, I appreciate that, man. B, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. B was like, man, all right, man. You know what I mean? He left. When he left out, man, B was like, he's a coward, Weezy, so boom. I said, man, he is, man. Like, he just one of them dudes that, you know, got the opportunity to make money, but he don't have the backbone to keep the money, man. You know what I mean? Because any prison you go to, once dudes find out that you ain't got no fight back in you, or your fight game is not even like that, and you somebody that's bringing this stuff from the street, I'm telling you, man, you bring out all the freaking Terminators, man. The Terminators come out of nowhere. They come out of nowhere, y'all. They be wanting that stuff, man. They don't play around. Ask anybody. That's how penitentiary is. Bro, straight coward, man. Like, he let me down with that junk, man. So, like, that's how I felt like me and bro had to kind of get into the double extortion move. Like, you know what I mean? We had to spin him just to keep it going. And we only knew we was only doing this for a couple more times, man. So he stayed locked. He stayed low key like we told him, man. I promise you. The week went by super fast. The whole time, Tron and them, they stayed super low too. They weren't acting like they had it. You know what I mean? They had a free quarter. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they weren't acting like we had it. Me and bro took a little loss on having to give him an eighth. So we gave up basically 3 eighths. You know what I mean? That for that whole play, that set me and bro a little bit short, but still though, we were still thankful. So we already knew how the next play was gonna come. You know what I mean? Like, he was thinking that everything was gonna be smooth and ain't nobody gonna mess with him. But we was already saying like, yo, if dude rob him, that means he ain't gonna get nothing. Like, we like his cut just keep getting out low. But just for the play to go smooth and dude robbing him, man, like, we'll just pay him his quarter every time, man. Now, was he gonna get an eighth this next time around? No, he was gonna get half an eighth. Every time that he gets robbed, the price goes down, y'all. So boom. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Every time you get robbed, bro. Real talk. So that's how we was carrying, man. Like, I know our logic sound crazy, but when you in penitentiary, man, you make moves on a whim, man. You make moves just like that, and this is what we was thinking. Like, yo, dude robbing him. So if you get robbed, bro, that's on you. You're not gonna fight back. You keep getting robbed, bro. Dude, not only if dude gonna get your cut, you know what I mean? You gonna get less than what we giving you. And we was only agreeing to do this because it didn't make sense just to crash out on trauma. You know what I mean? We would have a super big war in there against his city and my city over what? Somebody that's gonna go to the next freaking pod and bring the pack in for the next person who can get it in? Come on, man. I don't crash out like that. So I don't care what y'all thinking about in the comments. Like, this was unorthodox. And like I told y'all in the title, we definitely wasn't responsible for this stuff, man. How it's going down. I felt like he was responsible for putting himself in this situation, man. So the week went by like this. The week went by like this, man. The week went by fast. And he come back with that pack again. Bro was an expert, though. His girl bringing it. I used to always say, I wonder what his girl is thinking. What's going on in here with this prick? But a lot of times, a lot of girls, they don't be knowing what's going on because a dude will tell a girl anything. So bro go to the VI again, come back early again. This time, Tron wasn't in his cell. You know what I mean? So he going to jump. He handled his business. He got to cut up. I seen Tron come right down the steps. His homeboys surrounded the door. Me and bro was standing back there. Like, we was looking at the joint at first, but we already was looking like we already know what Tron gonna do. Tron gonna jam him up, then holler at us. You know what I mean? So we looking, we like, this joke with Petty, I ain't gonna lie. This joke with Petty, man, word, Tron going to jump. Jam do it again. He jammed Reek again, man. This time it won't no scuffle. It won't nothing, which made him look even weaker. This made him look even weaker to me because the first time, at least we heard some, like some shoes and like a little, this time, y'all, it was solid game. So boom. This man didn't do anything, man. I was like, yo, this is crazy right here. Trying to come right out the jump. Go upstairs. Hey, Weezy, B, come on, Weezy. We go right up the steps, go inside, trying to sit. He's like, here. I was like, man, you got him again, man. B said, what did he say this time? Tron was like, man, he ain't say nothing. He was like, at this time, you know what I mean? I pulled his chain up on him right here. It wasn't no big knife. He had like a little poker. Like, you know what I mean? Dudes ain't really, like, it won't like that in there. So I didn't even have to say, what's that for? Because that junk was so small. He was like, yeah, showed him this junk, scared him. I was like, for real, man? He was like, yeah, he get up, dude. I was like, man, he's scared as a bitch right there. He was like, man, y'all niggas better go check on him. That nigga scared as a bitch. So people's like, all right, we grab the tree. I'm going to go check on him. You know what I mean? I said, nah, bro. I said, he going to come holler at us, bro. Don't say nothing to that nigga, bro. I said, he probably thinking that the pack really got stolen this time. You know what I mean? I said, don't say shit to him. He going to come holler at us. So we did the transaction with bro again. Gave him a quarter this time. You know what I mean? Gave him another quarter. Then we was already saying in our head, like, yo, that's his last quarter. Like Tron didn't even understand that's his last quarter. We not coming off shit next time. You know what I mean? Like, that's a dead issue. Like, yo, this the last one. Like, we gonna beat him to the punch this time. Like, it ain't gonna be, he's gonna be there before. No, it's not gonna be none of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, this time around when he come back from BI, it's gonna be me and B in there waiting on his ass, y'all. So boom! I promise you that. So this was goddamn Tron last quarter. So I hope he enjoyed this. because this is the last and the last. So we paid, bro, did a good transaction, went back to my cell. We get back to my cell, we chill for a minute, backing up, trying to get the jump right. We had a knock at the door. Yo, it's Rick. He come in the jump. He was like, hey, man. That's the la-la. He was like, yeah. He was like, he gave it y'all again? I was like, why you say it like that? That's Al Pack, right? He was like, yeah, but I'm just saying, though, I thought he was going to buck. Like, y'all was going to have to. I said, bro, do it look like we out in the pod fighting right now, bro? I said, because that's what happened if someone will buck on this pack, bro. We fighting, bro. I'm going to the hole, bro, for mine, bro. He was like, man, that man pulled a knife out on me, though, B. B was like, man, anybody trying to hear that shit, man. He was like, man, what you wanted me to do, B? What you wanted me to do, man? B was like, look, I ain't want you to do shit, man. I ain't want you to do shit, man. He was like, why the fuck this nigga keep robbing me then? I was like, man, what the fuck did you do on the street, man? Why is this nigga beefing with you for some shit you did on the street, man? He was like, man, it's a long story. He was like, what the fuck you mean it's a long story, bro? What the fuck did you do on the street, bro? He was like, man, I ain't do shit. He was like, they coming at me with some old ass shit. We was juveniles, bro, and we got locked up, and I had made a statement just telling the truth. Like, I ain't put nobody's name in the jar. I just told him everything I did. So I'm like, you told the truth? He was like, yeah. I'm like, man, you was young then when you did it. He was like, yeah. He was like, well, his brother was my co-defendant. So his brother went upstate and I didn't. I said, oh, because you told on his brother, huh? He was like, man, I ain't tell. I just told the truth. I'm like, all right, man. I didn't even have to hear no more. I didn't even have to hear no more. But after hearing that story, all the larceny came out of me. Also, boom. I said, so look, bro. I got back super quick. I said, yo, look, bro. This the thing, though, man. I said, man, listen. He's not going to rob me no more. He was like, how can you guarantee me that? I said, because, bro, like, I'm going to make sure. I'm going to make sure. I said, you see this right here? I said, bro, look, I'm going to pay him with 3 of these. I was already lying. We already paid him. You know what I mean? We already paid the man. I was like, I'm going to pay him with 3 of these right here, bro. You know what I mean? I said, I'm giving him over a quarter. I said, if he rob you again after that, bro, me and him got problems. And that's just how that's going to go. B was like, man, if he touch you again next week, we got a ham. We got a ham, man. And that's just that, man. So he was like, man, that's your word, man. I was like, yeah, bro. I ain't never said that's my word the whole time. I was like this, y'all. I was like, yeah, bro. Finger cross game, y'all. I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Everything, bro. Everything. He like, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Like, I ain't trying to get hit with that knife, man. Like, that shit dangerous, Weezy, man. I'm like, look, bro. Just bring that motherfucking pack next week, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Just keep bringing the pack, man. I was like, yo, here, man. I threw in the joint. He was like, what's this? I was like, bro, it's a half an eighth. He was like, a half an eighth? I'm like, yeah, bro, you got robbed again. What you mean, bro? It's a half an eighth game. He was like, I ain't gonna make no money. You know, you gave me the eighth. I was at least able to make, say, my girl $75. I'm like, what, she need some money for some gas money? He was like, y'all always send her 100. I said, look, I'm gonna tell my peoples. I said, B, look, B was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell my girl, give her $100, bro, when she pick up the work this week. He was like, oh, how you gonna do that? I'm like, yeah, so you go ahead and enjoy that whole half an eighth. He was like, I can enjoy the whole half an eighth. I'm like, yeah, enjoy the whole half an eighth game. He was like, all right, man, that's what's up, man. Look, man, dude, you can't do that to me no more, though, man. You can't do that to me no more, man. Like, man, all right, man, you know what I mean? It is what it is. So he leave out happy, you know what I mean? Me and bro was happy. So that the whole jump was just, that was a crazy situation. I ain't gonna lie, man, it was a crazy situation, man. But like, you know, this third pack gotta come through, y'all, so boom. So again, we trapped the whole week. Slang and bang the whole week, gang. You hear me? We got money the whole week. I'm doing all commissary though. Want enough to do a whole lot of other stuff. I'm paying 2 people. Paying 2 people is a wrap. I'm not doing that no more, y'all. It's time for nobody to get paid except for me and B. So I didn't know how this was gonna play out. All I know is, bro, like, you just gotta do things on a whim, like I told y'all. But we already had the plan. When he come back from VI, the first faces he gonna see is us. The first faces he gonna see is us, man. So B was like, yo, look, I'm going to his cell, bro. I already told his roommate, you don't want to be in there, don't want to be in there, whatever. His roommate didn't care. His roommate was a white dude that didn't mess with the la-la. He didn't do nothing except work. He was like, man, we done told him about to come in there. He was like, he don't even like his roommate. You know what I mean? So he's like, all right, I'm coming in that joint. Going in that joint, bro. We just gonna be waiting for him when he come back. So Saturday got here, we already had the place set up. His roommate already knew we was gonna be in there. And it was the morning time, so it was perfect. It was perfect, just like when Tron be getting him. Tron is under the impression that he's gonna get him again, then bring us the pack, and then get his quarter, and everything gonna run smooth. You know what I mean? This is what Tron is thinking. Plans change, my friend, every day. So boom. Me and bro was already on it, man. I promise you, man. We go to VI. He stay over that jump for a minute. As soon as like 30 minutes went by on the clock, B was like, yo, I'm going up in there, because he never stayed long in the V room. He'll go to the V room early and come back early. You supposed to get an hour. Bro be coming back 45-minute game. So B went on and went in the sale. You know what I mean? I'm gonna chill for a minute before I go in there. I looked at the clock. See, it was 10 after 10. I was like, yeah, I'm going in that joint now. So I went in the joint. So B already sitting in the joint. So cover the windows up, made it dark, cover his light up. You know what I mean? So it's dark in the joint. So I'm standing like on the side of the wall. B is sitting like on the little bench area right there. So the whole time, I think goddamn the nigga Tron was probably already like, yo, as soon as he go in that jump, man, I'm gonna goddamn go in that bitch and take the whole shit. You know what I mean? I didn't know what he was thinking on this third play. Who knows what his plan was on this third play? So bro come back from VI. We hear him say, CO! He don't even know we right there in the cell. We see the light in the pod. We see him standing sideways by the door. He like, CO, open my door up. Then he popped the joint. Popped the joint. He was like, what y'all doing in my cell, man? I was like, what you mean, bro? Shh. You trying to get robbed again, bro? He was like, nah. B was like, well, hurry up then. I went to the door, threw the cut up. I was like, man, go ahead, man. He was like, go ahead, what? B was like, man, throw that shit up. Fuck you mean, nigga? Get my shit, man. If a nigga come in here and rob your dumb ass, man. He was like, all right, B, man, calm down, man. Now, damn, this how I see, yeah, this definitely, I ain't definitely gonna get robbed with y'all being in the room. I was like, man, hurry up, man. So I'm at the door. All you heard was somebody say, then the door said, try to move. I was like, yo, hold on, bro. Somebody in here. I already knew the person on the other side knew that wasn't goddamn Reek voice. So goddamn Reek was like, the shampoo, he'll get a little cap of shampoo. He was like, yeah. He just started early and jump up. The door said, the door tried to open again. I'm like, hey, bro, chill, bro. Somebody in here, bro. John tried to open it. He over there, John. B right there with his ass like this. This word, I'm by the door. Nigga keep trying to, like, yo, bro, I finally came behind the cut. I was like, yo, hey, yo, chill out, Tron. Tron was like, oh, shit, y'all good? We like, yeah, we good. Chill out, bro. We about to come out. He was like, oh. I know what he was thinking. I read his brain. He was like, easy in them in there. What the fuck they doing in there? I'm like, yo, bro, listen, just chill, bro. He was like, that nigga was bewildered. You hear me? That nigga was dumbfounded looking. That nigga was back the way up. Close the cut back. Like, yo, bro, hurry up. He was like, he was like, all right, that's the last of it. He went in the toilet. He was like, he put it in the sink. He started rinsing it off. He was like, that's the last of it right there. B was like, that's everything? He was like, yeah, that's everything. B was like, B put it in, B had an old orange hat. He put that junk. B put the work in an orange scully. He was like, that chick was baggy as hell. He was like, come on, Louise. All right, put the cut down. Got the jump out. Come out the jump. Come up out the jump. Me and bro went up the stairs like bang. Start walking towards my cell, getting my cell, went in the trunk. That's word. B went to the table, I went to the window. I'm like this, I'm looking. I'm like, crazy. I was like, yo, bro, you chill, bro, let's get it right. I'm about to step out in front of the door. I step out in front of the door. That nigga Tron was like, that nigga was looking super stupid in the face. That nigga was like, hey, what you say? I was like, yo, he was like, what's up? I was like, bro, we gave it to him, bro. He was like, what? He was like, yo, we gave it to him, bro. Like, bro, I ain't finna be in the middle of that, man. We paying the nigga that brings the shit back, bro. We don't keep him. He was like, he looked at me like, for real? I'm like, yeah, nigga, what the fuck? It's word. That nigga ain't had to hear no more. That nigga went back in that bitch and started thrashing that nigga, man. He started thrashing goddamn weak ass, man. All you heard was, motherfucker, pretend fuck my shit up. Man, where that bitch? Where the fuck is that, motherfucker? They gave it to you, motherfucker. Them niggas was taking turns going in there whooping his ass. His homeboy was like this. My turn. Them niggas went in that bitch. They were beating the shit out weak ass in that bitch. Goddamn, I'm back in the cell looking at it. The nigga B was like, yo, they ain't fucking him up. I'm like, yo, they ain't fucking that nigga up, man. He's like, man, that nigga Tron can't say shit to us. That's our shit. Fuck that. We beat him to the punch. We got tired of doing that shit, bro. Fuck that. Get it from him. We gave it to him. They beating the shit out that nigga ass. That's my word. They beat the shit out of him. They beat the brakes off his ass. They was taking turns beating the brakes off his ass. They leave out the jump. Nigga Tron, he pull up with me and B. He was like, hey, look. Hey, man, he said he ain't got this shit. He like, man, he got that shit. That nigga Welling, man. That nigga Welling, man. Fuck that. We ain't got nothing to do with that shit. That nigga got that shit, bro. Them niggas like, all right. Them niggas got down, fucked that nigga up. This word, that nigga roommate came out, was like, yo, man, he beat up bad, man. He beat him up real bad, man. He beat him up real bad too, man. He was like, man, fuck that shit. I ain't gonna do with that shit, bro. Fuck that shit, man. Shit crazy as a motherfucker. So the nigga was just feeling bad. Like niggas, like the shit was just fucked up. They beat the nigga ass, man. I promise you, man. So when it was time for lockdown, COs came and did their rounds and seen that nigga, man. My word, man. Them people came in that bitch. They came in that bitch deep as a motherfucker. They stopped counting everything. Got that nigga out, man. That nigga was fucked up, man. That nigga face was lumped up. That nigga barely walked. It looked like somebody fucked his arm up. He was walking like with his arm like this, like somebody fucked his arm up. Man, they take the nigga out. They take that nigga out, man. I promise you, man, like 15 minutes later, they still ain't counting it. Next thing you know, police coming that bitch deep as a motherfucker. Went straight to Tron cell. Went straight to his man's cell downstairs. Locked both of they dumb asses up. Got both of them niggas. Man, got both of them niggas, man. That's my word. Word that came back to Tron and caught an assault charge, all type of shit. Tron ain't never get the fuck out the hole, man. They said they fuck goddamn Reek up. Reek never brought his ass out the hole, man. This my word. They fuck Reek up. Man, they fucked Reek up bad. Reek was in the fucking infirmary for a minute. He finally got out that shit, man. When he got out, they moved that nigga to 40 building. They moved that nigga to 40 building, man. And for real, he stayed over there for like a week. Then they said somebody whooped his ass over there from his city. Then he went over to 60 building. Then when he got over to 60 building, which was on the other side of the yard, that's when they say he continued on bringing the pack in for somebody, man. He went on to start doing it again, man. Like, the man was a freak for pain because he was a coward. Like, he just gonna bring the pack in his whole life, y'all. So, like, while him being way over there, we didn't care, man. Me and bro kept all that whole zip that time, we split a hazy apiece. We split a hazy apiece, man. That was a way better gap. We took losses on the first couple jumps, man. We made up for it, man. But him getting his ass whooped, we wasn't responsible, man. We just had to roll with how we had to roll, man. I know that shit was unorthodox and crazy, but that's what prison is, y'all. And that's the end of the damn story, though. Man, I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all already know the count. Stay y'all ass out the way, man, period. But this was the Tuesday banger. So what I need y'all to do with this one, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. But be safe out there, people. And stay y'all ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open